Hey, welcome to Wednesday. It's September the 10th, 2025. My name is Thom Rigsby, and this is your AmCon Daily Brief. On today's show, back to school doesn't just change mornings. It changes who's at home during the day. Let's open things up with the update that sets the stage, your ASAT team's daily sit rep.
This is your AmCon Daily Sit Rep for September the 10th, 2025. Up first today, Immigration and Customs Enforcement, or ICE, conducted major raids at a Hyundai facility in Georgia, detaining approximately 475 individuals, mostly South Korean nationals. This enforcement action targets sanctuary jurisdictions and has sparked both international and domestic backlash. The raid may affect foreign investment and highlights ongoing labor shortages in U.S. manufacturing sectors. Turning to science and public trust, experts Michael Mann and Peter Hotez warn of a weaponized anti-science virus. Funded by various global actors, including plutocrats and petrostates, this disinformation campaign aims to undermine trust in climate and health science, impacting public opinion and policy decisions related to climate change and vaccinations. In economic news, small business optimism has improved slightly, but concerns about labor quality persist. According to the National Federation of Independent Business, 32% of small business owners reported job openings they could not fill in August, with labor shortages particularly acute in construction. This suggests ongoing challenges for hiring and retention despite resilient demand. In cybersecurity, Chinese-linked hackers identified as the Salt Typhoon Group have infiltrated major U.S. telecom providers and military networks. This cyber espionage campaign puts critical infrastructure at risk of outages and espionage, underscoring the importance of data backup and vigilance in cybersecurity practices. Finally, we report on ongoing protests and civil unrest nationwide. Multiple events are scheduled today, including protests at the United Nations headquarters in New York City and rallies in various other cities. Members are advised to stay aware of their surroundings, know exit routes when attending public gatherings, and report any suspicious activity to authorities and the ISAT team. Now, a look at today's weather. There is a slight risk of excessive rainfall in parts of southeastern Florida due to a stationary front bringing thunderstorms and heavy rainfall, which could cause localized flooding through midweek. Additionally, a strong Pacific storm will affect much of the western U.S., with heavy rainfall posing risks of flash flooding and isolated dry thunderstorms that could start fires. Residents in these areas should stay alert for potential weather hazards. Looking ahead on the AmCon calendar, several events are coming up. This weekend, the North Regional Campout Training and Adventure Challenge will take place from September 12th to 14th in Central City, Iowa. The Broward County, Florida chapter will hold its monthly meetup on September 13th in Sunrise, Florida, focusing on outdoor skills and communications field deployment. Also on September 13th, there is a workshop on home preparedness, covering backup power, heating, and lighting in Berkeley Springs, West Virginia. Members interested in participating are encouraged to register and get involved. That concludes today's AmCon Daily Sit Rep. Members can access the American Contingency Members Only site to get the full report and more in-depth analysis of today's stories, along with practical preparedness tips, training opportunities, and resources to help you, your family, and your neighborhood stay crisis ready.
When school starts, mornings get loud and chaotic. But by mid-morning, many homes are pretty quiet. Kids are gone, spouses at work, even the pets are left alone. Entire neighborhoods that felt busy and alive in the summer suddenly look empty between 8 a.m. and 3 p.m. That quiet may feel normal, but it also creates vulnerabilities. Empty homes are tempting targets. Children coming home to an empty house in the afternoon face different risks than they did in the summer. And it's not just about crime. Accidents, pets in distress, even small household issues can go unnoticed longer when no one's around. Preparedness isn't only about storms and emergencies. It's about recognizing how everyday routines create openings. And one of the biggest seasonal shifts is the empty house problem. Think about it. In the summer, someone's almost always at home. The kids are in and out, the neighbors are outside mowing or grilling, parents are working in the yard. That activity creates a kind of natural security. But once school starts, driveways are empty, blinds are closed, and the neighborhood just looks different. For someone casing houses, it's easy to spot who's gone all day. That means your security has to adapt. It's not enough to lock the door and hope. Layer your defenses. That could be as simple as putting lights on timers, making sure a car is sometimes in the driveway, or coordinating with a neighbor to keep an eye out. Little cues of activity make big differences. And then there's the family side. If your kids are old enough to come home alone in the afternoon, preparedness means giving them more than a key. They need a plan. What to do if the door looks tampered with? Who do they call if you're delayed? Do they know not to broadcast on social media that they're home alone? Leadership here is about equipping your family to handle small problems before they become big ones. Pets factor in here too. An empty house can get hot or cold pretty fast if the HVAC system fails. Or maybe a pet without water is going to suffer while everyone's gone. Preparedness might mean a backup water supply, a trusted neighbor with a key, or maybe cameras that let you check in on them remotely. Look, the principle is this. When routines change, vulnerabilities change. Situational awareness means noticing that the neighborhood's normal has shifted and then adjusting your security and family plans to match. It's not paranoia, it's just stewardship. You're practicing, or protecting rather, what matters while the world runs on autopilot. So here's your challenge. Take a walk down your street around 10 a.m. this week. Notice which homes look obviously empty. Then ask yourself, does my house look like that? What's one thing that I can do to give the impression that someone is around? Tomorrow we'll tackle a different kind of back-to-school risk, the germs that come home in backpacks, and how to keep your family healthy when exposure ramps up. Well, that wraps up today's AmCon Daily Brief. Thanks for listening. Members, you'll find extended resources on our members-only website and in your phone app. And if you're not a member of the community yet, head over to AmericanContingency.com and take the first step. If this brief helped you, please do me a favor and pass it along to someone in your circle. I'm Thom Rigsby. Stay alert, stay ready, and I'll talk to you again tomorrow.